I have to ask you about Congressman Lloyd Doggett. People have been talking about maybe he won't exist after 2012. What do you think?
You mean his district won't
Yes.
exist?
Good one.
I don't know. Honestly, the congressional map drawing process is going to be very partisan, and the Democrats, I'll speak for the Democrats, we're going to do our best to make sure this is a fair process and the Voting Rights Act is respected. And most importantly, at the top of the list, that I believe we should all put on the top of the list is respecting communities of interest. Austin is large enough that it does deserve its own district.
I have a couple of pieces of each of your own legislation I wanted to ask you about before we were completely done. Representative Chisum, you have a bill about parental consent when it comes to human sexuality courses in schools.
Absolutely. I'm always in favor of having the parent make that decision, and so I think that due to some of the courses out there that parents may not want their children in, they ought to have the reasonable authority to go in and tell the school district, yes, I want my child in that course, or no, I don't. It is a very basic right of the family to determine what will be taught their children.
What do you think?
Most importantly, I think any information that's given out should be medically accurate. And right now in too many schools, we have curriculum that is not medically accurate and is misleading and misinforming our youth. Texas has the nation's highest teen pregnancy rate. We need to look toward data and research that tells us what strategies we can employ to reduce that teen pregnancy rate. We also lead the nation in repeat teen births. And so what we have in place is not working, and we need to improve it. I think that means delivering medically accurate sex education.
It depends on whose numbers you look at. We have made fabulous strides in the state of Texas in reducing teenage birth and teenage pregnancy in the state of Texas. And I think we need to stay the course. But the bottom line is, the parents do not need to be excluded from the process. They are to have control of what's taught their children when it comes to sexuality.
Our rates have declined, but we are still above the national average. We are still ahead of the rest of the states. And parents actually do have a role to play in this, a big role to play in this, and they too need medically accurate information so that they can help their kids make the right decisions.
Presently, they have to opt out. I want them to have to opt in. That's a big, big difference. Have the parents look at the coursework, see if they want to opt into that or opt out.
Let me ask you about your bill regarding employment discrimination for sexual orientation. What's that about?
It's about jobs. It's about liberty. If somebody shows up to work, plays by the rules, gets the job done, then they should not fear that they're going to be fired because of their sexual orientation. I think that's wrong. It is anti-labor. It is bad for our economy. We need to recognize that everybody has the right to work, and if a worker is doing their job, then they should not be discriminated against.
Have you had complaints about this in your district?
Absolutely. Yes, and throughout Texas. This is legislation I have filed for going on, I want to say, maybe 4 sessions, and it is a problem that persists and one that deserves to be addressed.
Why hasn't it gone anywhere?
It hasn't gone anywhere because I believe too many legislators do not see this in terms of the basic human right terms or economic terms. They cast a vote based on their own personal preferences, and I think that's short-sighted. In the end, what I'm trying to accomplish is to allow folks who play by the rules and get the job done not be discriminated against.
What are your thoughts, Representative?
My thoughts are that on a job application, a question about sexual orientation is just absolutely not proper. It's not what you're hired out to do in most cases, your sexual orientation should not have an issue on it. It should not be on a job application. It is not part of the workplace and not a proper to be discussed there.
What if it comes up during the workplace day?
Well, you know, it's just improper to be there. I mean, you ought to have some education in the employer that your sexual orientation hasn't got anything to do with the job. The job is something different than that, and you need to be able to do the job.
Thoughts?
No, I'm just so glad that we have found some more common ground.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen a work application that had your sexual orientation as one of the questions, so I don't know why he filed the bill.
It's not just the application, is it?
No, it's not the application. It's you know, in the course of a job, unfortunately, there are too many cases where employees are let go, are treated poorly, are pushed out because an employer discovers that they are of a certain sexual orientation, and that's not right. And I think in Texas, one of our basic values is people need to be treated fairly, and that's what I'm trying to accomplish.
So you say they shouldn't be discriminated against because their orientation is found out. You say it shouldn't be brought up in the first place.
It shouldn't be brought up in the first place. It's not part of the job deal. It shouldn't be an issue at all. And if it's an issue for you, then you ought to find a different job somewhere. I mean, because sexual orientation is a personal matter. It's not part of the job.
Final thoughts on anything?
No.
It's a great day for Texas. You know, it's going to be you might say it's a Texas-sized spring cleaning in government.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for being with us, guys.
Thank you.